back with CNN's Kaitlan Collins. So there's little indications that Trump is not thrilled with J.D. Vance, okay? But J.D. Vance is out doing a lot more press than Donald Trump is right now. Do you have any idea of, do you hear why that might be? Are they just sort of shoving him out there and saying, J.D., you get out there and walk into those rotating, blades. And once everything, because right now there's so much momentum on the Democratic side that it's kind of a bit of a fool's errand to try to blunt it right now.
Yeah, you're seeing J.D. Vance kind of single-handedly trying to take the headlines back. I mean, this is unfamiliar territory for Donald Trump, where he's not in the headlines. And actually, I watched the interview that you did with Abby Phillip, my colleague, when she was here. You predicted this. I don't know if you remember this, but I did my research, and you predicted that if Harris became the nominee, that there would be a lot of enthusiasm behind her, and that Donald Trump would not be able to break into the headlines. And that's where he is right now.
Right. He's always been able to grab the news cycle, and he can't. He's trying a couple of crazy statements lately, but people are much more excited about what's happening with the Democratic ticket.
Yeah, and he's just seeing someone with enthusiasm and with crowds has really set him off in a way that it's just... I've covered him for a very long time. I talk to a lot of people who speak to him regularly. He doesn't know really how to deal with it. Maybe he'll figure it out, and his advisors are confident he will, but it's been a struggle for him. And so Senator Vance has been out there. He did multiple interviews yesterday on the Sunday shows, answering questions more about his own past remarks than really anything what they're doing when it comes to policy, which they'd rather be talking about. There was the quote in the New York Times that Trump told donors, they're not calling me weird, they're calling J.D. Vance weird.
He's always got your back.
It's gotta hurt.
He's always got your back. Well, as someone who, so we can find it. Now, as someone who's reported on Trump so much, what, for those of us who are observers here, what is it you have to keep in mind when you're covering Trump? What are you keeping in mind as you talk about him, that those of us who haven't spent a lot of time around his people?
I think when you've covered Trump for a long time, you kind of know his playbook. It doesn't vary that much. It's kind of been the same since he was just a New Yorker who was calling into the tabloids under a different name and pushing good press out there about himself. And that has been actually deeply informative. That's why the New York reporters are some of the best reporters covering Trump, because Maggie Haberman and others know his kind of tricks. And so I think the longer you cover him, the better you are at it, because you know what he's going to say, what he's going to do. I think, watching what he said about Harris and questioning her race and her identity, and, it's completely predictable and it is familiar to him. And so I think as long as you keep that in mind, you kind of go at covering him and you know what you're going to get, probably.
Now,
you'll be surprised, but never shocked.
That's good. That's good, yes. Or shocked that you're still surprised. Now, big shift in the polls in the last 3 weeks. Clearly, the trend is in Harris's direction, but a lot of people say the polls, especially this year, have been off a lot. How much faith do you put in the polls? Are the polls worth listening to at all?
I don't think you should bet your mortgage or your house on polls, but I do think that they're pretty helpful. I talk to a lot of pollsters and what their ideology is. I mean, CNN...
And pollsters say that pollsters are valuable?
Pollsters
That's
love
fascinating.
But
they should keep their jobs as your
But actually, I'm in big polls, actually, is backing me.
Yep.
But they put a lot of effort into it, and you look at how they do it, it actually is pretty interesting. And look at how they've changed just since Harris has entered the race. I mean, that's not coming out of nowhere. We're watching it happen in real time at her rallies and with her fundraising and her events, and then you're seeing it show up in the polling. So it's not totally off. I don't think that they tell us everything. They're snapshots in time. But I think if you thought polls don't matter, I mean, President Biden certainly thought they did, and so did senior Democrats. And that's why part of the reason that he's not in the race anymore is that they were worried about that. And so the politicians who are making life decisions based on that certainly do put some faith in them.
Well, Kaitlan, thank you
Great
so
to
much
have
for
you.
being here. The Source with Kaitlan Collins airs weeknights on CNN. Kaitlan Collins, everybody. We'll be right back with Fallout's Waltz and Goggins.